Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
characters from The Office.
And we are, well, I was going to make mine a little bit more cartoony. Was that the prompt? Now I forgot the prompt.
I think it might have originally been something about trying to use simple shapes, but my head.
Then I got lost over time.
Yeah.
Well, hey, click that subscribe button if you're new around here, and if you have a suggestion for something fun or cool we could draw in the future, let us know down in the comments.
Oh, yeah. And I am sorry that my reference photo, I guess I can throw it up here on the screen for a moment, is not visible.
Oh, why is it not visible?
Because I had it on the PC monitor in front of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you did Karen, right?
Yes, I did Karen
from The Office.
from The Office. I just, she's not as popular a character, and so she felt a little bit more off the beaten path. Although I like Pam, and I did a little sketch of Pam when I was at work the other day that was really fun to do.
Yeah, it was really good. I also know that you love Prison Mike, so I decided to do Prison Mike.
I love that. I'm just now, I just saw that for the first time that you chose Prison Mike, and I'm so ecstatic. I can't wait to see how he turns out.
Not
his
great.
Eyes. You've captured his eyes already. I know, faces are so hard.
I remember when I finished this, so we're recording this one in post. So I drew him in Starbucks. Just sitting there.
Yeah.
And when I got done with him, I was like, wow, that's really good. That's some good stuff. The best art I've ever made. And then I came back and looked at it later, and I was like, oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a monster.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a reason I spent a long time on this sketch that I never really was super happy with.
You cheated. You cheated on this
I know,
one. Our prompt was that we could take a maximum 1 hour.
Yeah, so when we get to the 2/3 mark, if I cut off right there, that'll have been 1 hour of work because I spent an hour and a half on it.
Look at your sketch. Your sketch is so good.
Sketches, I feel like, so often look so much better than the finished piece for me.
That's because you're so good at the lines.
I don't know.
Look at my lines. They're so
adjusting
bad. But
Start
your
stop.
lines, they're so flowy and beautiful.
So flowy, so beautiful.
Mine are short and little baby lines. Ugh.
Yeah, they're little. One thing I had pulled up on screen as well while I was working on this was some Loish sketches.
What?
Because I wanted to be, informed and inspired by her work, because her work is very inspiring. So I was like, this is so low-key, kind
Abby's
of a Loish
secret
study.
best friend. She doesn't know it, but
Loish
they're best friends.
doesn't know it, but we're best friends. Oh my gosh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, yours is so good. Tell me about your process here. Were you just kind of copying what you were was there a base face that she had that you were trying to copy, or
there was a base face that I was kind of taking inspiration from very heavily, but I was trying to really reset their proportions to more match Karen's proportions. And you can see I'm pretty happy at this point. I think I was pretty happy with what I was doing, and a little bit later I not like happy, just like, oh, this is coming along, I'm in the early stages.
I'm
whatever.
so happy with mine over there. Yeah, for sure.
This one really forced me to keep telling myself, you have to be comfortable with the early ugly stages. If you can't get comfortable with the early ugly stages, you're never going to progress. You just have to relax and be okay with this. Relax. Take a deep breath.
I'm okay with the ending ugly stages, so I've achieved,
Yeah, you've achieved true enlightenment.
Yes, I am the monk on top of the mountain, drawing horrible art, taking deep breaths.
That's what I told myself with this one. By the end, I was like, you know what? Not my greatest work, but it's still gonna go out there, and I'm gonna put it out there, and that's okay. Because I'll have
some hesitation.
Done some work, at least it represents that work was done.
Yeah, I think your sketch looks awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, maybe when you flip your canvas, I'll change.
When I flipped my canvas, I did find that one eye was ridiculously higher than the other.
Yeah, but it looks like part of the expression because, she's raising that mouth corner, thus
I also found out that mouth corner was way too high.
Oh, I don't know. It depends on the style.
Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I overreacted, but when I first flipped it, I was horrified.
There
it is.
Oh my God.
See what I'm talking about? I was
yeah,
like,
you're
oh
right.
my gosh.
No,
Move,
you were right.
Move.
Nope.
Well,
you're correct.
I I just continue to tweak and twiddle with the eyes and the mouth.
Tweak and twiddle, yes.
Yes, constantly. I think I even entirely erased the eyes and start over.
What?
And then I erased the nose and start over.
Those eyes are so good, though.
And then erased the mouth and start. Like, I am just perpetually dissatisfied. And obviously not comfortable with the ugly starting phases. Despite what I was telling myself in the moment, my little mantra of be okay with the ugly stages.
I have no time to erase because mine is just, it is what it is. And I can do nothing but trudge forward.
He's looking good.
Oh, wow, thank you. Wow,
He's looking expressive.
You couldn't even say that without laughing. That hurts.
I'm not laughing that he's bad. I'm laughing because his face is funny. It's a funny face.
You got a funny face.
Thanks. That was mean.
Well, I'm such a fast painter. I'm already starting to put color in.
Wow.
You're over there still fiddling with your lines.
Oh my gosh. No, I will erase the entire eyes at some point and the nose. The nose is going to go. See? Oh.
Bop, beep.
Thought about it.
Bop,
I haven't quite taken that step yet.
I like your hair too. The left side of her head, it feels like she's got a bald patch right now. It feels a little high on the head, but the overall flow is there. You're really good at making lines that flow together really well.
Oh, thank you.
That's something like because I don't understand lines. They don't make sense to my brain.
Wait, gotta interrupt you. What are these color gradient things you're doing on his bandana? I like how you're blocking it in like rectangle by rectangle.
Yeah, and just sample each, general section.
Oh, yeah.
I just I'll sample based on a plane.
There go the eyes.
There they go. They're going somewhere. So I'll sample based on like a plane, like a major plane of the face, and then I'll make that whole plane that general value color, value hue, whatever.
Neato.
So that's kind of my general idea there. Just kind of blocking in colors there. But those were some cute eyes you had over there.
Yeah, weren't those? My little dots, for eyes.
But to go back to what I was saying, you are really good at making flowy lines.
Thank
you. You're good at like getting some nice gesture in your lines, whereas my lines are just a means to an end. You create lines that have, like mine are just like there to guide me for when I paint later. I pretty much paint over all of my lines at the end and like get rid of them all. But your lines are like,
I love a painting where the sketch shows through. I think that has so much life and energy. Imagine how excited I was. You just said I have a lot of gesture. When you introduced me to gesture drawing, which shows how very little technical and education I had about
drawing.
Art and art practice.
I introduced you to gesture drawing?
Yeah, you were like, let's go on this Quick Poses website and do some quick studies of gesture drawing. And I'm like, wait, what? Is this is amazing.
Oh my God.
I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah?
This was like when we first started dating too. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
That's how I knew right away you were like the one. I was like, oh my gosh.
He taught me about gesture drawing.
This is what we both do for a good time.
My future husband. Yeah, I remember we did a perspective course like a long time ago that we watched together and drew along with. That was really fun.
Is it distracting that I draw sideways like this all the time?
No, not at all.
I wasn't sure if that looks super weird, like to watch later on for other people, like, it's just sideways the whole time.
That's just how you do it. No, that's what it takes. You got to get in there and pinch and twist and zoom. Like I said, I was drawing at Starbucks, and I'm not like, there's seating there, at least for me, it's just a little awkward because the table, like the height of the table versus the seat, because I'm a tall person, I have to like hunch over a little bit. So it's just kind of uncomfortable, which is why I pretty much keep my painting in the same orientation here.
Yeah.
I'm not zoomed in, like looking at the details. You are zooming in to like refine a shape and just rotating it to flow naturally with the way that you would like best draw a curve.
Oh, I start doing some movement here, and when I watch this back later, I think I ended up wishing after the fact that I hadn't done some of these final movements. I liked where it was before, but apparently in the moment I was like, nope, this is so much better. And in hindsight, I'm like, nah, I should have left that where it was.
You can always fix it later. You can always go back. That's what's nice about looking back at your art. You get a new perspective on it.
And for this having been such a long study for what we do on Drawbli, an hour and a half for me, it still felt very much like something where I was like, oh, a face, a specific person's face, an attractive face. I feel like I have to spend way more time on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think your sketch still looks really good. I mean, way better than what I can do.
It was really fun to work on. Even though partway through you hit your head and almost got a concussion, but I was so focused.
Yeah,
I just called out, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah." And then I was like,
not okay.
I paused and I was like, I should ask if he's bleeding.
Really hard. I was fairly positive, and I still do think that I had a minor concussion.
I called out after like, "Oh, are you bleeding?"
So I was in the closet.
No, I just kept going.
Oh my god, the nose being gone there is so fun.
I raised it a couple times here.
It looks so good without a nose. But I was getting in this closet that we have in our office, and it's got a really low ceiling to where you have to like scrunch down, and I'm 6 feet tall, so I have to like really scrunch down in there. And then I turned around and I smashed the corner of my head on this shelf. And I just like immediately, I don't even know if I blacked out, but I like immediately went down on the ground, just like, and Abby's just over there drawing and she goes, "You okay?" I'm just like, "You bleeding?" No. And apparently if you're not bleeding, you're fine, so.
You were talking too.
I mean,
that was actually
I'm glad that you are a medical professional, you know, a nurse working in the medical field.
Me too, because I knew maybe that.
Because if you have a patient and you just hear like a big pound and you go, "Oh, you okay? Are you bleeding?" No? Oh, they're fine. They're fine.
Not even true. I'd send you for a CT scan right away. Right away.
Your face without the nose is
Isn't it funny?
Something else.
I think it really gives me a different kind of perspective on the whole face. So what am I doing? There's so many things here I should have just left alone, but I messed with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of value in not redoing things. I have a lot of students that come to me that, "Oh, you fixed the forehead with the hair there." There are a lot of students that come to me and they'll say like, "Oh, I'm just gonna restart on this," and I'm like, "No, like that is such a waste of time. You have something on your canvas, so just work with what you have instead of redoing it and redoing it and redoing it. You're gonna have to learn the skill of reworking and you know, playing with what you already have on screen."
Yeah, I think Loesch talks about how she does not like her students. Apparently she takes students now and then. I don't know anything about that. I should look into that. But telling them not to erase their sketches. And that might just mean their finished sketch, but I don't know. It might also apply to like their early work in the sketches. Oh, look at me trying to add more contrast. Pumping up the jams. My values.
Yeah, pump up the contrast jams.
Contrast is so huge.
I think your eyes look really good.
Thank you. I added highlights to them. It helps. I think the only thing I do wrong in this whole picture in the end is I add color to it.
Yeah.
And then it looks all airbrushed and not great.
Yeah. I honestly, when I was looking back at the footage, I was like, "Oh wow, this sketch looks amazing." And then you put the color on it and I was like, maybe should have.
I think I was tired because it had been an hour and a half and I was like rushing at that point, and I should have just left it as a sketch. I should have stopped with the lines. I should have, but
her neck's like a little misproportion.
It's huge. It's huge.
Well, it's not. It's then not that it's like.
Look, I saw that. I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, it was very giraffe-esque.
And I went. It's still.
Well, it's not that it's thick. It's that it tapers down toward the body, where if anything, we would maybe see the opposite. Luckily, you can't see my character's neck at all, so I don't have to worry about that.
He's looking excellent, by the way. I haven't commented on your character in quite some time.
I've been purposely diverting our attention away.
I really enjoy him. Wow. The intensity of those eyes is...
Mike is very intense, it's true.
He looks like he's actually looking at a Dementor. You know what the worst part about prison is?
The Dementor.
The Dementors.
Abby has seen The Office how many times?
I think I'm watching it through. This might be my fourth time seeing it all the way through.
This is my first time.
Yeah, your first. It's so fun to watch it with you because you'll describe iconic scenes through the eyes of somebody who's seeing it for the first time. You'll be like, in this scene, Kevin spills a whole pot of chili. Oh,
what? I haven't seen that scene. Wow, spoilers.
Well, it's just a cold open, but you're so funny. It's so funny to hear your perspective.
This show is so hard for me to watch.
It's very cringe humor heavy. Oh, look at the colors you haven't painted into his cheeks there. I like that. You got the blues and the little bit of the different shades that you're blending together.
I feel like this would have been a good one to play with color vibrations.
Yeah, for me too, if I had known what that was at the time, because...
Well, now you know.
Now I know. Because after I watched your last character playthrough, I saw.
The playthrough, yeah. Drawing's like a video game. We gotta watch the playthrough.
Playthrough? Is that not the word I'm looking for?
Draw through. Paint through. Paint through. It's a paint
the
through.
The replay.
Paint through, we're coining that term.
Yeah.
So you use a soft brush for a lot of this, which I think is probably
that was my downfall.
The downfall of
the coloring did not go very well here.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe more of a focus on values first would have instead of colors. I mean, you're kind of like monotoned right now. It's all within the same like warm spectrum. So maybe just focusing on values a little more. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I can't look at mine. I can't give much advice.
No, yes, you can. Yours looks so good. It's so according
Don't worry, it gets
to your
worse.
style. No, it looks awesome.
I'm serious. It does get worse. I start editing it later, and there was a point where I should have said, "Oops, that's that good."
That's what I should have said before I added any color. I should have been like, well, never mind about this color. No thanks. Maybe for the thumbnail, if we use mine, we'll use her without color, like at an earlier stage in the process.
Yeah.
But we should probably use yours, or both, because they're both
We can do that? We can put them both?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not like a contest where best picture gets to be the thumbnail.
But it is.
But it is.
But it is. Nobody knows, but we do fight about it.
No, we do not.
We fist fight, yeah. No. We put on our boxing gloves, and like whoever wins that fight that day. It's weird though, because like a lot of your art is in the thumbnail, which implies that you're like.
Sounds like I make the thumbnails a lot though, so.
This is true.
But also, I just tend to go off of like, oh, the last few thumbnails have been mine. Time to change it up, you know. Like.
Yeah, I get one for every 5. I think it's perfectly fair because Abby creates way better stuff than I do.
Oh gosh, well, still very much in the beginnery, amateury stages, so.
We're both in the beginnery, amateury stage.
Yeah.
What do you do here at the end to like finish things up? Is there anything special that you do?
I give her a vibrant background, way too much, and then I color her shirt white again with a soft airbrush. Oh, I give her lips a red lipstick and with a pencil, and then I'm like, well, that looks too sketchy, and I go back in. You guessed it, I believe with like the soft brush or maybe the selection and feathering tool, which is very much like the soft brush. So I never really get out of the softness with the color here. Which is unfortunate because...
Maybe too much softness.
There is definitely too much softness and not enough focus on actually picking like good colors.
Oh, I've never actually seen that feather line appear before when it did that. That was cool.
Yeah. I like that feature. I've seen that come up in a few tutorials I've watched lately, and I think it's an excellent feature.
Lips don't actually have too much of a feathered edge. I would say very slightly between like color value separation, but for the most part... especially if you have lipstick on a character, there's going to be a hard line for lipstick. But just like your natural lip color, all in all, isn't really even too much different from like the skin tone of your face typically. It's typically like a little darker, if anything. But
Yeah.
I like your face, like, even after you've added the color and everything on here. I think it still looks awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. And your face is looking awesome too. I love all the blue in his like 5 o'clock shadowy area. It really conveys that shadow in such cool, awesome tones.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of how yours turned out. And that's not just because I love Prison Mike, because I do.
Yeah, you used
but
to
I just
have
really like it. A badge reel with his face on it. But it was too big, and all the patients and their families asked if that was my husband.
That's weird, but hold on. People probably don't know what a badge reel is.
Oh, I'll let them figure it out. It's not that complicated.
It's a big deal. We need the context, Abby. Abby wore this at work as a nurse.
As a new nurse.
She wore a picture
so
of
big.
Prison Mike on her her chest. Like, where was it?
On my chest, on my neck. I've seen other people wear them like a fraction of the size of what mine was. Mine was like a solid 2.5 inches.
Why do you have your clown husband on your shirt?
Yeah. Oh, is he in a gang?
So wait, did people actually ask if it was your husband?
Yeah.
Are you, like, legitimately they asked?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't sarcasm.
No. Just, there's totally different walks of life out there. And not many of those walks of life don't involve the office. And I don't blame them.
I mean, I remember seeing it when I first met you, like, sitting on a table, and I was just like, what is this from? Like, I knew who it was, but
I love yours so much.
I didn't know it was from The Office. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Click that subscribe button if you're new around here, and leave us a comment down below for future painting, drawing,
recommend
idea,
some,
challenge,
characters you want to see
some more Pokemon, whatever.
Ben wants to draw more Pokemon. Recommend a Pokemon. I will graciously also make a Pokemon, but I won't know what they're called. I still don't remember.
I didn't know what they were called on the last one.
Spaghetti.
Fuecoco and Sprigatito.
Spaghetti.
There's a little part of my brain specifically designed to just hold all the names of all the Pokemon. So it's really easy for me.
It was a careful box that you made when you were young, and you don't let anything.
It's an endless box, and it turns out it's all of my brain. And with that is the part, or this is the part, I guess, where we say
goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, I shouldn't have colored her. It looks kind of like a glam photo from the.
Oh my God, it does.
the excessive airbrushing.
It does. But it's still good.
Thanks.
It really does. That's funny.